When we work with spirits and align with them, they also align with us. We become more like them, they become more like us in some fashion. If a magician closely aligns and evokes and invokes these spirits into their energy, into their aura, into their energy experience, then your own energy can resonate with these spirits. And as such, not only can you receive more gnosis, you can be more open to their knowledge, their abilities, their traits. You can also create a spiritual armor, in a manner of speaking. And I found that to be one of the best defenses against the curses and the bad juju and all the things that people may be trolling you with or cursing you, especially if you're a public figure out here in the magical community, if you're very open and public about your practice, eventually you get trolls and haters. And I've seen that a lot lately in the community. It's always kind of been a thing, but even more so. It seems like we're living and going through a season of cancel culture where everybody is, griping about how other people do magic. And a lot of people are really curse happy. And a lot of people just don't always have very kind or constructive things to say about other practitioners. That being the case, I mean, we're all adults, we can all handle our business. But I think that sometimes, even the most experienced practitioners, it sometimes can get to them. It's hard when people are saying nasty, untrue things about you. And as such, if you remember who and what the fuck you are, when you remember that and lean into the core of your own power, it can heal you. It can protect you. And when you have spiritual allies, ask yourself, what do you have to fear? What do you have to fear? Not a damn thing. There's nothing to fear when you have armies and legions of spirits aligned with you, advocating for you, protecting you. That's not to say that you won't have a bad day occasionally. Everybody does. We're all still human as well. But for those of us that carry the essence of these spirits within us, around us, within our own aura, the way that I have perceived it, and the way that Belial and Azazel have explained it to me as demons, spirits, they have unique frequencies. And so if you were to envision each frequency coming in as like a thread of resonance, and when you work with these spirits, they tie into your own energy. And if our own energy is like a toroidal structure that's always moving and changing and adapting to the energy around it, when we tap into spirits and they tap into us, those threads bind in to our energy. It can go so deep, not just on the surface level, but into our very DNA itself. It can potentially activate and wake up dormant DNA. Perhaps that is a way that humanity can continue evolving physically, mentally, spiritually, magically. As we become more in tune with those resonances, it opens doors within us, around us. And these spirits, these forces, these streams of consciousness can flow through us. We become the tuning fork itself that can change reality around us. And when we then encounter trolls and haters and people cursing us, we don't really have to worry so much. We don't have to worry about trying to control other people and, shutting them up and stopping them, engaging in witch wars and, the popcorn drama fests, I mean, I think a lot of people in this community are sick of what's going on. And I would just encourage other practitioners to remember who and what you are. Remember that. Feel it in the core. You're badass magicians. Own it. Be comfortable in that and resonate with that as your truth. And when you realize the support that you have spiritually, you don't have anything to really worry about. That's not to say that occasionally things can't, get through the armor to some extent, because we deal with a lot. We do deal with a lot. But I found that these rotating bands of energy, these spiritual currents that come into our essence, they rotate, they're moving. So when other energy comes in, I found that when curses hit, it's as if they hit a brick wall and drop at my feet, or they bounce back to the source. Or, like the spider said to the fly, come on in. And these energies can be allowed to come in just a little bit, enough to get caught up by these other threads of resonance. It gets caught up and brought into your aura. And like a ball of yarn can keep coming, unraveling from the source. And it can be used to then feed you. And the spirits purify it. So whatever, malicious intent, whatever bad juju, whatever is coming at you can be neutralized, you know, when it hits your energy. And it can then be assimilated to strengthen you. So then all the people cursing you, you can confidently say, bring it, motherfucker. Bring it. Fuck around and find out. It doesn't have to affect you to the point that you can't function, that you're having a bad day, that you want to go off Facebook or, not be a part of a community. I mean, it's a personal choice. I mean, I have a lot of people that I deeply respect that like deactivate Facebook and social media, and that's fine. Sometimes that's what you need to do to take your own space, your own breaks. You don't owe anybody an explanation. But if you want to be out here, and if you want to be building a community in whatever manner makes sense for you, don't let the haters get to you. Don't let the haters get to you. Lean into your spirits, lean into your core, and let the energies fall at your feet. See these people as peasants leaving offerings before a god, because then you become their god. They create idols and gods when they curse you because they took time out of their day to focus on you so intently. You somehow got under their skin. They don't like you. Whatever problem that they're whinging about on any given day, and we all know who these people are. We see them out here trolling other magicians, talking real loud, making bold claims about all kinds of interesting nonsense. And you can just kind of shake it off like water off a duck's back and continue moving forward with your day. When we work with spirits, it changes us on a fundamental level. Act like it. Take that in. Behave as such, and it will be so. You do not have to be beholden to the whims of the trolls and haters. You don't have to tolerate their nonsense. Certainly, cast them out of your sphere. Block them, do whatever you need to do. But understand that energy is energy. And rather than trying to battle head on, energy for energy, somebody does this, you retaliate with this. I mean, you can absolutely do magic to protect yourself, but oftentimes it's not even necessary because the energy drops at the gate when you work with these spirits, and they're so intertwined with your essence. It is spiritual armor. You have to maintain it. You have to continue having relationships with these spirits. You work with them. Otherwise, the armor, it can become stagnant, a little rusty. It might, things might get in a little easier if you don't continually maintain your relationships, just like any other friendship. They take work to maintain. But if you maintain them, then you work with them and they work with you and they protect their people. And if you work with demons, you're their people too. They're loyal allies. And I just want you to remember that, because a lot of people out here are so concerned about what other people are doing. And I'm not saying that, your outrage and pain is not valid, because it is. And, I myself have done the same thing. I've come out here and shared my pain and had conversations about different things going on in the community, or, when I felt personally attacked or slandered. I've had some things to say. And I think it's like good and healthy sometimes to express oneself and let people know what's going on in your world. But from, another standpoint, being able to express that and then move through that. And instead of it being maybe a frustrating experience, it can be a source of power. The more people are talking about you, whether for good or for ill intent, it feeds you. It feeds you, even indirectly, whether you're conscious of it or not, because it still is energy coming towards you. So, you can thank the universe for the gift of energy. You can even be grateful to the trolls because you're their god now. They focus on you. It's kind of cute. It's kind of flattering. Um, it can still be a little annoying sometimes. It is what it is. But on a bigger level, from an energetic perspective, it's still a gift. I'm not going to leave perfectly good energy to just wither away. I intend to use it. And I think that you can find a way to do so as well. So that's all I had to say about this topic for now. But I'll catch up with you all later. Have a good evening.